everyone, and welcome back to Queen G's Recipes. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a chocolate cupcake. Now, it is a basic chocolate cupcake, but that is very, very delicious. And when I say basic, I mean you can add any frosting, buttercream, sprinkles, you can fill them, you can do endless things with them, and they are so perfect and delicious. You can have them in your recipe box for sure to be used anytime, because they will be the chocolate go-to recipe. So let's go over the ingredients we'll be needing. Now, this recipe is for 12 cupcakes. Most definitely you can double, half, you can do whatever you like with it. So let's go over what you're going to be needing. In here I have 1 cup of flour. I have also included 1/4 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder. Here we have half a cup of cocoa. I'm using organic. You can use any cocoa of your choice as long as it's unsweetened. Here we have 2 whole eggs. We're going to be needing half a cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Here I have half a cup of vegetable oil, and what I have here is a muffin tin with 12 muffin liners. Now, it is perfect because Mother's Day is just around the corner, so you can whip these up in no time. And I'm also going to be showing you in this recipe how to make a basic chocolate frosting, which is super delicious, and you're gonna love it. So I'm gonna be making these in my standing mixer, but most definitely you can use a bowl, whisk, spatula, or even you can use a handheld electric whisk. That will be fine too. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so into our standing mixer, we're going to add in our eggs, our sugar, and our vegetable oil. And we're going to mix this till it's a nice and creamy texture. Okay, so I mixed my mixture on high speed for 2 minutes, and now we're going to add in our vanilla, and we're going to mix for another 30 seconds. Okay, so our mixture mixed for an extra 30 seconds, and now we're going to sift all of our dry ingredients. Okay, cocoa, okay, so now that that's done, we are going to add in half of our milk. Okay, we're going to add in half of our flour and cocoa mixture. And we're going to mix just till combined. Okay, so our cupcake mixture is perfect. I just scraped down the sides of my bowl with a spatula once again. And now we're ready to prepare our muffin liners. Now, I'm just going to use an ice cream scoop as I usually do for most things like this. So let's move on to preparing our cupcake. You just want to fill your liners about 3/4 the way full. Okay, so now we're ready to place our chocolate cupcakes into the oven. Now, this recipe will give you about 12 to 14 cupcakes, And so I have a little bit extra here. It'll probably give me another 2. I'll just place it in a separate muffin tin. And now we will bake them for about 20 minutes. I'll let you know how long mine were in the oven for and what they look like when they're done. Alright, so look at our amazing chocolate cupcakes. Now, they were in the oven for exactly 21 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're going to have to let them rest and cool completely at room temperature in order for us to frost them. Now, I'm going to allow them to cool, and in the meantime, we're going to work on our frosting. So let's move on to our ingredients. Okay, so now it's time to work on our frosting while our cupcakes are still cooling. So what I have here is 3/4 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're going to be using a pinch of salt, about a teaspoon of vanilla, and I have 1 3/4 cups of icing sugar, or also known as powdered sugar. In my standing mixer, I have washed it, and now we have 3/4 cups of softened butter in there ready. And now let's move on to melting our chocolate chips. Okay, so my chocolate was melting in the microwave for 3 minutes. Now I put my chocolate at 30-second intervals, and in between every 30 seconds I would take it out, give it a stir, keep stirring. Now make sure once you reach that point where there's just a few chocolate chips that aren't fully dissolved, what you do is just keep mixing the mixture and it'll eventually dissolve in the mixture. You don't want to leave it too long in the microwave because you don't want your chocolate to scorch and become crusty, because there's no going back from there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate mixture, we're going to set it aside. Okay, so as I mentioned in here, I have 3/4 cups of softened butter at room temperature, and now we're just going to cream this to make it nice and creamy, and then we'll add in our remaining ingredients. Okay, you can see that's nice and creamy. I'm just going to scrape it down so that when we add our remaining ingredients, everything will mix perfectly together. Okay. All right. Now we'll add in our pinch of salt. Okay. We'll add in our teaspoon or so of vanilla. 1 to 2 is good. And we'll add in our icing sugar. I'm going to add in half, and then we'll add in the remaining. Okay, so now before adding in our remaining icing sugar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my melted chocolate. Okay, so after adding in our chocolate and mixing, I'm just going to take my spatula and just clean the sides, making sure there's no butter or icing sugar in here. We're still going to add the remaining icing sugar, but you need to make sure that there are no clumps of butter or anything left in here, because you do want a smooth frosting. Okay. We'll add in our remaining icing sugar and mix until you no longer see anything but a smooth chocolate frosting. Okay, now so before we forget, I forgot to mention to you guys, we're also going to be needing 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk. So adjust it to the thickness of the frosting that you want. So right now, most definitely, I'm gonna add at least 2 tablespoons. Okay? And we're going to mix this again. Okay, so while mixing on high speed for about 3 minutes more, in between I took my spatula and I mixed everything just to make sure we didn't have any lingering icing sugar or butter inside. So this is good. I added the 2 tablespoons of milk. That was it. I did not add any more. I feel it was perfect consistency for me this way, but you adjust to your liking. Okay, so this is good. Now I'm going to place it into a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can also put it in a large Ziploc bag and just cut the tip, and it'll work the same way. So my cupcakes are cooled, and now we're going to get ready to frost them. Okay, so I placed half of my frosting in a piping bag with a tip here. Now you can use any tip of your choice. To be honest, I'm trying to look at the number here. I'm using a Wilton 1A tip. And now what you're going to do is simply just frost them. You can frost them with an offset spatula or a spoon and just spread it on your cupcakes. But I'm just going to make a little design just to make it look pretty. Okay, I was just adding the remaining frosting into my piping bag so we can finish decorating. And there you have it, guys. Now, I just wanted to let you know that the amount of frosting is enough for the amount of cupcakes that I made. So if you double the cupcakes, obviously you will double the frosting. If you half the recipe, you'll half the frosting, and so on. So you get what I'm saying. And that's about it, guys. So simple to make. You can most definitely make it the day before. Just cover your frosting with some plastic wrap and leave your chocolate cupcakes in a cool place covered with some plastic wrap, and you'll be okay. So it took an hour and a half for my cupcakes to cool before I was able to frost them, and that's about it. So now I'm just going to sprinkle some confectioner's candy here on top on a few of them, just for some decorating options. Now you can most definitely leave the cupcakes just as they are, and they will be so good. Or you can add some toppings. And that's about it, just some options. And it's as simple as that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys try this recipe. It is an amazing recipe and you will love it. So that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a nice big thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video, share it with your family, share it with your friends, enjoy the recipe, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new and delicious recipe. So I'll see you on my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.